All right, teammates, good morning. Happy Saturday. I hope that you guys are ready for another active recovery day. We're going to focus on yoga. And one thing that I love is hearing you guys have such positive feedback about the yoga sessions that we're doing, the poses that you're learning, even a lot of the stretches that we're doing on the mobility focused days. So, what we're going to run through today is another beginner style session. Okay. I'm going to teach you guys different poses in all three mountains. So, remember, Mountain one is more of our warm up. Mountain two is a little bit more active poses. And then mountain three is more of our cool down. So we are still going to set the same 28-minute timer. And we're going to focus on breath work like we have been throughout these last couple that we've done. And I've even hinted to you guys for the mobility stretching videos to do the same thing with your breath. Remember, movement is medicine. And the more that we can focus on movement with breath, the more that we can really think about and see and feel how we can calm our nervous system, how we can calm our stress, our anxiety, really how we're feeling in every way to just calm our mind, be present, and just be where we are, like be where our feet are, okay? So I am going to go ahead and get our timer started, but the one thing that I want you to do for this practice today, no matter where you're at on your mat or having that space on the floor, I want you to position your mat long ways. So we're going to start in a standing position in mountain pose. And that's where we're just standing straight up. We're going to start with our breath here. So kind of make sure you have enough space around you if you don't have a mat specifically. But we're going to start in our mountain pose, okay? So as you start in your mountain pose, one thing I want you to think about is having your chest up, okay? Having your hands, your fingers are spread next to your side, your palms are next to your side, standing straight up, okay? Tall and confident. I'm focusing on feeling the four corners of my feet into the mat. Now, we're not going to have music for today's session, so whether you want to put some on or just enjoy the peaceful, quiet throughout this routine, whatever that you like. Now, when you focus on movement with breath, all right, we're going to take 3 breaths here without moving our arms, just staying in this mountain pose. And as we inhale, remember we're lifting, and as we exhale, hearing and feeling our breath to release, all right? So 3 breaths here, no movement, just staying in this mountain pose. To inhale to lift, and exhale to release. Again, inhale to lift, exhale to release. Last time, inhale to lift, and exhale to release. Now we're going to activate our arms. So inhaling up, exhaling to release, inhaling up, exhale, inhaling up, exhale. Last one, inhale up. We're going to swan dive down. On that exhale, each foot comes back. We're in that high plank, and we're going to come right down to our knees and our hands, okay? So as we come down to our tabletop position, remember this is where we are taking notice of where our alignment is with our wrists to our shoulders and our knees to our hips, okay? So as you see me coming sideways, one of the biggest things that we want to think about is literally acting as if you have something really important on your back, all right? You want to make sure we keep the solid foundation. You can either keep the top of your feet flat on the ground, or you can come up on your toes if you feel like it gives you a little bit more stability. And we're going to go into our cat-cow, okay? So as we inhale, we're bringing our belly button in. And then as we exhale, arching our back this way, bringing our head forward, all right? So we're going to inhale in, to arch and lift, and exhale, feeling that fluid motion. Remember, movement with breath is what we're focusing on for today, okay? So we're going to do this 3 more times. So inhale up, and exhale, bringing that neck forward. Inhale in, and exhale. So remember on the inhale, we're tucking our chin. Inhale in, and exhale. Now we're going to go into our spinal balance, okay? So I'm coming from my hands and my knees, okay? We're going to slowly just start lifting our shoulders. So I'm going to bring both arms up one at a time, alternating, then right back down. I'm staying in the same tabletop as I bring my shoulders up and forward. Just focusing on movement. We're not moving our legs just yet. Key into your breath. Inhale as you stretch out. Exhale to release. Now we're going to incorporate our legs with this. We're staying in the same motion, okay? So as I inhale, I'm going to bring my right arm forward, my left leg back. So I'm going to inhale out. Toes pointed down. Exhale to release. Same thing on the other side. Remember, toes are pointed down as we kick back. Inhale. Focusing on that core strength. A lot of stability here. Builds a lot more strength. Just focus on that posture. Try not to twist. One more time on both sides. Last one. All right, stay in your tabletop. We're going to come right back to the front of the mat. And I want you to come into a modified plank. Okay, so this is where I'm not up in my full plank where I'm up on my toes. But I'm going to bring my knees back just a little bit. And I'm going to bring my hips down into that straight line, almost as if we were doing a modified push-up. Okay. Now what we're going to focus on is a little bit of a flow here with our breath. So what I want you to do is coming from this modified plank, we're going to inhale down. We're going to exhale to release as we push up. We're going to come right back down. And then right back to our knees. Okay? So coming down all the way on that inhale. Exhale to lift. Back down. Back on our knees. Good. Now remember, try not to come back on your knees into that tabletop, right? We're coming right back to that modified plank. We're going to do this one more time, okay? Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Lower body is relaxed. Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Good. Now from this position, we're going to go right into our child's pose, okay? So I'm coming right back into that modified plank. I'm going to bring my hands back, right back into tabletop. I'm going to slightly widen my knees. I'm going to bring both of my arms out, extended in front of me, pushing off of the mat as my hips go back and down. Chest comes to the floor. You can lightly rest your forehead on the mat. We're going to focus on the same breath here as we sit back in child's pose. So the biggest thing you should feel right now is that stretch on your upper back. Remember, you are feeling as if you are pushing off of the mat with your hands as you sit back. Extending those arms out in front of you, dropping our elbows. And stay here for 3 more breaths. Slowly slowly rise out of that child's pose back into our tabletop. Now I want you just to focus on your hip mobility as we bring our hips side to side. Okay. In a straight line, side to side. Now what you can focus on from here is staying in that same tabletop, just going in a circular motion. So I'm checking back in, wrists are in line with my shoulders, knees are in line with my hips, and I'm just going to make a big circle all the way around clockwise first, sitting back and bringing it forward. Again, doing what you're able to do, just giving your body permission right now to take whatever that you need from today's practice, okay? Going counterclockwise in the other direction. Last time. Good. Coming back to our tabletop. I want you to extend your hands out in front of you, come up on your toes into that high plank. We're going to walk our feet forward, right up to the front of the mat. As we rise, we're going to go back into our mountain pose, but we're going to work on our swan dive down into our forward fold. So I'm going to reset back here in our mountain pose. Remember, all four corners of our feet pressing into the floor, into the mat, okay? We should not have socks or shoes on. This makes it easier for you to feel this, okay? Chest is tall, strong, and confident. I'm going to take 2 breaths here. Hearing and feeling my breath. Inhaling as I rise, exhaling to release. Good. Remember, as you release, we're letting go of anything we don't want to carry into today. Anything you need to lay down, anything you want to give yourself permission to just lay down, leave there. That is what we're able to do right now, okay? Now we're going to go from our mountain pose into our forward fold. So I start in my mountain pose on this inhale, all right? As I inhale, I'm going to lift. Exhale to release down into my forward fold. Rising back up. Back into my forward fold. We're going to repeat this for 3 more breaths. Last one. Good. I want you to hold here in this forward fold. You can either place your fingertips onto the mat or to the floor. You can hold both of your elbows. So either hand holds the opposite elbow and just be here. Take note of where your breath is. Just focus on being present right here, right now, whatever that you need. One more deep breath. Slowly rise out of this forward fold. Now we're going to go into a few more active poses. Okay, that was more of our warm-up. So we're getting right into our active mountain 2. Okay, and some of these we did on our last one. Some of them are going to be brand new for today's practice. So what I want you to do in the long edge of your mat is you're going to start with your left foot facing forward. You're going to bring your right foot back, but that right foot is going to be facing towards the long edge of our mat. Even if you don't have a mat, if you're just on the carpet or maybe in your garage or on tile, whatever that it is, hopefully you have a mat in a comfortable space. But whatever direction, this is ideally the pose that we want to be in, with our left foot forward and our right foot facing that direction of our chest, okay? Now our warrior 1 pose is essentially going from this position, rotating our hips forward, and as we bring our arms up overhead, we're going to go into that left side lunge, okay? Now it's a little less active. We're going to hold for 3 breaths and we're going to switch sides, okay? So as we bring our arms up overhead, I want you to go into that left lunge. We have 3 breaths here, okay? Remember reaching up on that inhale. Good. Slowly come out. We're going to rotate our feet into the opposite direction. So for the sake of you being able to see me, I'm just going to switch sides, okay? So I'm rotating my hips toward, my right foot is forward, my left foot is towards really wherever that my chest is initially facing or that long edge of the mat. I'm going to lift my arms up overhead into that mountain one, going into that right lunge for 3 breaths here. Focus on lifting up. Going a little bit deeper into that lunge. Good. Slowly bring your arms down. Staying on the same side, we're going to bring our arms right up to our shoulder. We're going to go right back into that lunge for 3 more breaths, okay? So I'm looking into the same direction with where my feet are planted. I'm going to go into that right lunge. I'm going to hold here for 3 breaths. Slowly lowering our hands. Again, you're just going to rotate your feet to the opposite direction. I'm going to turn for you to see me a little bit better. So we have our left foot forward, toes pointed straight to the short edge of our mat. And then our right foot is pointed toward where our chest initially is, toward that long edge. Arms come up parallel to our shoulders, straight line, strong across. We're going to go into that left lunge as we inhale. We got 3 breaths right here. Last one. Now we're slowly going to come up out of this. We're going to stay on the same side. We're going to go into our reverse warrior. The reverse warrior is pretty similar, but we're going to give ourselves a little bit more room on the back side of that right foot. Okay, a little bit wider of a stance. We're still going to keep our left foot pointed forward. And what we're going to do is, as we kind of almost look backwards, so we're going to bring our right hand around to the back side of our right hamstring, essentially. I'm going to bring my left arm up overhead, and I'm looking at my left arm as I have that hold on the back side of my hamstring, okay? So if you can see me from sideways, I have that left toe pointed. My right foot is pointed forward, essentially where my chest is. I'm going to come back to lean towards grabbing my right hamstring. Left arm's going to go up overhead. I'm going to give a slight bend. I'm going to hold here, just looking right up. My hand is right up over my head. Last breath here. Coming down. Good. Good, good. All right. Going to the other side. So our right foot is forward. Our left foot is back. Remember, giving yourself a little bit extra space. We're going from that warrior 2 pose to our reverse warrior. So I'm going to bring my left arm back behind my left hamstring. My right arm is going to come up overhead, almost like a half moon, up right over my head. I'm coming right back into that right lunge, looking up towards my right hand. Right hand slowly comes down. You should walk your feet back up to the front of your mat, okay? And we're going to go into a couple of separate poses, more facing the side, but I'm going to face toward you. So I'm going to rotate my mat real quick, just so you can see me a little bit better. The next one that we're going to go into is our standing straddle split, okay? So with this, depending on your range of motion or your flexibility, mobility with your hips, keeping your toes pointed forward, I want you to spread your feet until you have a good base, because we're going to be going into a standing straddle split. So what that means is I'm going to start by lifting up on my inhale, exhaling to release, Now I'm coming straight down, literally as if I was doing a standing split, okay? So all I'm focusing on is either keeping my fingertips or my hands completely on the mat. I'm not arching my back. I'm still focusing on my awareness with my shoulders. Remember, this entire time is about your breath. That's where you get to be more aware. That's where you get to take more notice of how you feel. Two more breaths here. Good. Now we're slowly going to rise. We're going to keep our feet planted in the same exact spot. We're going to go into what's called triangle, okay? Now in triangle, my toes may be slightly pointed out just a tad, okay? So more so at an angle, not completely pointed towards the side. And I'm going to come down to my right foot, okay? So I'm giving a slight bend in my right knee as I bring this straight arm down until my fingertip touches. And then I'm going to take my left arm, bringing it up overhead, looking right up over my left shoulder, opening up my chest as much as I can to look over my left shoulder towards my left hand. This is our triangle pose. We're going to hold for 3 breaths here. Last one. Slowly coming back to center. We're going to do the same thing on our left side. So I'm going to slowly come down, left arm stay straight until I can come touch my fingertips towards the left side. Right arm comes up overhead. I'm opening up my chest and I'm looking up over my right shoulder to my right hand. 3 breaths here. Slowly coming up out of this. We're going to go back into our standing straddle split. So inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling to release. You can keep your hands on the mat. That's perfect. Ideally, bring your toes in to forward just a little bit more than when you were in that triangle. Last breath here. All right, slowly walk your feet together back into your mountain pose at the top. We're going to take 1 breath here. Good. Now I want you to face towards the long edge of your mat, right? Because we're going to come down, back towards the ground. We're going to finish on the ground with our cool down, okay? So really just left knee first, then right. And I want you guys to stay upright for this one, okay? This is our camel pose. So I'm going to start literally almost as if I was standing. So taking note from my knees to my shoulders, I'm going to take my hands, place them at the small of my back, fingertips pointed down. So my hands are straight up and down with my fingertips pointing towards the back of my knees. And I'm going to slowly arch my back, almost leaning on those back 2 hands. Okay, pay attention to the placement of your hands. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths. All right, coming straight back up. I want you to come back into sitting back on your feet. We're going to bring our right feet towards our right side as we come back into a seated position. We're going to go into our staff pose. So essentially with your staff pose, you are sitting with your feet straight out in front of you. You're bringing your kneecaps in almost to flex your quads. Your hands are next to your side just to keep you grounded. And we're going to reset right here. So keeping those knees in, okay? Try not to bend them or let them relax. They are activated, okay? We're going to reset right here for 3 breaths. Now we're slowly going to bring both feet to touch the mat. We're going to scoot a little forward, coming back to lay on the mat itself. We're going to go into our knees to chest, but we're going to alternate first. So one thing I want you to take note of is contracting your core so your lower back is pressing into the mat. And we're going to take turns lifting each leg, okay, up off of the mat. This really helps us create awareness. So we're keeping that 90-degree angle, bringing each knee towards our chest, okay? Last time on each side. Now we're going to slowly bring both feet up off of the ground. We're going to hold behind our knees, keeping our lower back pressed into the floor. I'm going to bring my knees as close to my chest as I can comfortably. Again, this entire routine is about giving yourself permission for whatever that you need. No competition, no judgment, just what do I need? How do I feel? Respecting your body, loving your body enough to say, hey, I just want to listen to how you feel right now. And I want to give you that time for just peace and serenity and a calmness as you go into your day. Now you can rotate from side to side if you want a little bit of a lower back massage. I think this one that's really helpful if you have lower back pain or sciatic pain. It's one of my favorites. And we're going to come right back into center. We're going to release from the back of our knees. Place each foot back on the ground. Use our hands right by our side to lift us up. We're going to go into our forward fold and the seated position. So my legs come back out in front of me. I'm going to lean forward. I'm not forcing, I'm not pulling. I'm just allowing my body to fall forward as naturally as I can, whatever I'm comfortable with. Toes pointed towards the ceiling. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths. Now bringing both feet back to the mat. We're going to go into our boat pose. So with our boat pose, remember, we are elevating both of our feet. We're keeping a straight line from our hips to our shoulders. Try not to round your back. And you're going to directly place your arms straight out in front of you, holding this position here, toes pointed up, okay? Last breath. Slowly come back to center, okay? I'm going to face you guys for this one. This is more of our butterfly stretch. So bringing both of our feet together. This is the last one that we have for this routine. Both of our feet together. I want you to stay upright as you reconnect back with your breath. Slowly release from that butterfly stretch. We're going to bring that right ankle on top of our left knee. However that you're comfortable, sitting straight up, calmly placing our hands on either left and right side. I want you to think about elevating your chest, keeping your eyes closed. We're going to reconnect with our breath 3 times, solely with our breath, 3 times with movement. 3 breaths starting here. Keep asking yourself just what is helping you be present right now. What are you allowing in your life right now? What are you accepting in your life right now? What are you letting go of in your life right now? It's very important. Now we're going to finish with 3 breaths with movement up overhead. So I'm going to inhale as I lift. Palms come together back to heart center. As I exhale to release. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling up. Palms come together back to heart center. Last one. Inhaling up. Palms together back to heart center. I want you to take 2 breaths here in the same position. And that completes our practice for today. So if you are brand new to breath work, one thing I want you to keep in mind is how you physically hear and feel your breath. A lot of the time when we have a lot of stress, we have a lot of anxiety built up, we are taking very shallow breaths and we're not actually like hearing and feeling our breath, which can be so transformational, so helpful, and honestly so stress-free with what we're capable of doing for ourselves. So I hope this practice helped you. I hope that you enjoyed it. Definitely don't forget for this week 2 of our Team K Strong challenge or program for this week, for this month, that you guys share a post inside of the group, letting me know and letting your team know what your favorite workouts were from this week. So many of you guys have been great accountability partners and you've been incredible for me. You guys have really kept me going and I've loved doing this with you. So next Saturday, we're going to transition into a few newer movements. So come ready, but practice some of the ones that we went through today. I hope that you enjoyed them. I hope you feel good going into your day, no matter where you're at in your Saturday. I just hope that you go into your weekend with peace and serenity and just a presence of enjoying your life to the fullest and just thinking about what serves you and what adds value for you to focus on. All right. So enjoy your day, go win your day, and I'll talk to you.